Hello, I'm Dr. Bench, and in this video we will learn how to find the inverse function. So you have a function that is f at x equals 2x plus 3. So that's your function you're given, and you're asked to create the inverse function, which would be something like f prime at x equals, whatever it is. And we're going to discover what that's going to be. So in this case, you know that y is the same thing as f at x. So we say y is equal to 2x plus 3, and that's the actual function. Y and f at x are the same thing, just slightly different nomenclature, different meaning. We can cover that in a different video. But what you do is you swap places with x and y. You say x is equal to 2y plus 3, and then you solve for y. So the first thing you do is subtract 3 from both sides. And when you subtract 3 from both sides, minus 3, and this will be x minus 3. Well, the minus 3 is 0, so we end up with x minus 3 equals 2y. And then to get rid of the y value, you say you multiply every single thing in the everything by 1/2. So 2 times 1/2 is equal to 1. And 1y is just y. If you have 1/2 times x minus 1/2 times 3 equals 1/2 times 2y, and then you have 1/2 x that stays there minus 3/2, because 3 is 3 over 1, and you just multiply 3 times 1/2 is 3/2 equals y. And you would, of course, write it the other way. You put the y is equal to 1/2 x minus 3/2, and that is your inverse function. And that's how that works. Of course, you would write it as f prime x equals 1/2 x minus 3/2. And that's the inverse function. And that's how you find the inverse function. Okay, so let's have another example. Let me get rid of all this, and we'll say, in this case, we're going to have f at x equals 4x minus 8. And in this case, we're going to find the inverse function. So as you remember, we're going to swap places. Well, we realize it's y equals 4x minus 8. And so to find the inverse function, you swap places with x and y and put x is equal to 4y minus 8. And then we're going to add 8 to both sides. Because your objective to get the variable by itself on one side, you have to get rid of everything else. The way you get rid of the minus 8 is you add 8 to it. So you have x plus 8 is equal to 4y. And then you multiply by 1/4 or divide everything by 4. Either way, you turn this 4 into a 1, and that's how you get rid of it. So we're going to have 1/4 x plus 1/4 times 8 equals 1/4 times 4y. And so 1/4 times 4 is 1. We're not going to write it anymore. 1 times y is just y. So what we wind up with is 1/4 x plus 8 over 4 is equal to y. And then 8 over 4 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. So we have 1/4 x plus 2 equals y. And of course you write it with the y on the other side. Y is equal to 1/4 x plus 2. And that's the inverse function. F prime at x is equal to 1/4 x plus 2. And that's how you find the inverse function. A couple of examples. Questions, please let me know in the comments or email me. My email is in the description of the video. Either way, have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching.